A family spends one full year living in a 2,400 square foot steel Barndominium, and the thing that almost breaks them isn't the build, isn't the cost, isn't even the rural location. It's something nobody mentions in a single pros and cons video, including our own from a year ago. I'm going to show you the real numbers from 12 months of actual ownership, the utility bills, the repair costs, the social cost nobody warns you about, and the one upgrade that paid for itself faster than anything else in the house. And the verdict might surprise you. Stay until the end, because I'm breaking down 6 real pros, 6 real cons, and the actual math behind whether this was worth it. If you're seriously considering building a Barndominium and want the real first-year numbers instead of the sales pitch, smash that like button right now and subscribe, because we're about to get into the honest version most channels won't show you. Let's be clear about what this review covers. One specific build, 2,400 square feet, 2 stories, steel frame, spray foam insulated. Total cost, just under $268,000 in 2026 dollars, 14 months from groundbreaking to move in. Your numbers will differ, but the categories below apply to almost any Barndominium build, in any state, at any budget. Start here, because this is where the difference becomes crystal clear. We landed at $112 per square foot for the finished structure. A friend's comparable conventional home in the same county came in at $175 to $200 per square foot. Average monthly utility bill across the full year, $146. That same friend, similar square footage, conventional construction, $238 a month. That's not a small gap. That's roughly $1,100 a year, every year, for as long as we live here. Let me give you actual events, not theory. Month 2. A hard hailstorm tested the steel skin and roof. 0 damage, 0 leaks, while a neighbor's shingle roof needed partial replacement. Month 5. The social distance problem hit hardest when we realized how much less often we were seeing friends, because every visit now required 25 to 40 minutes each way. Month 7. A well pump failure cost $1,850 and took 4 days to get a contractor out, because rural service availability is genuinely slower. Each of these moments taught us something the brochure never did. Why did the cost and durability pros hold up so well? Spray foam insulation creates a continuous thermal envelope with no gaps for air infiltration, which is the entire reason the utility number stayed low all year, summer and winter both. Steel framing has no organic material to settle, crack, or invite termites, which is why we had 0 structural surprises. Compare that to wood framing, which moves and settles as it cures over its first year, often producing drywall cracks, and squeaks a steel frame simply doesn't generate. Now let's talk ongoing maintenance, because this is another real factor. The exterior needed 0 painting, 0 siding repair, and 0 caulking touch-ups in year 1. A wood-sided or stucco home in the same climate typically needs some exterior attention within the first 2 to 3 years. The steel skin shedding water and resisting impact the way it did this year is a real measurable advantage over conventional siding. During real ownership, surprises happen regardless of structure type. The well pump failure is the clearest example. $1,850, 3 days without reliable water pressure, 4 days to get a contractor scheduled. That delay is a rural living factor more than a Barndominium factor, but it's real, and it's worth budgeting for. Compare that to suburban service calls, which are often same day or next day. Here's the category almost nobody covers honestly. Steel and insulation can be engineered for. Your social life adjusting to a quarter mile to the nearest neighbor cannot be engineered around. It has to be managed. By month 5, we had quietly scaled back how often we saw people we used to see weekly, not by choice, just by friction. The fix was deliberate scheduling instead of relying on spontaneity. This is the one category where the structure itself has 0 advantage either way. It's entirely about the land and the distance, not the build. Even 1 year in, with 0 plans to sell, resale sits quietly in the back of our minds. Comparable sales for this style of home are still thin in our specific county, which means appraisals can be less predictable than a conventional home would get. This isn't a deal breaker. It's a real factor that holds steady regardless of how well the build itself performs. Does the lower utility bill and lower maintenance cost actually offset the surprises? Beyond the mortgage, $1,752 in utilities, $1,200 in unplanned rural internet upgrades, $1,850 for the well pump, $640 in routine maintenance and supplies. Total, $5,442 for the year, or about $453 a month beyond the mortgage. A comparable conventional home, with higher utilities but fewer rural-specific surprises, would likely land in a similar overall range. The savings and the surprises largely offset each other in year one. Let's be fair about where a conventional home still wins. Internet and utility infrastructure. A suburban or in-town home rarely needs a satellite internet backup. Service speed. Conventional homes get same-day or next-day repairs far more reliably than rural properties do. Social convenience. Nothing about a Barndominium fixes the distance to everything problem. That's a land decision, not a structure decision. Resale comparables. Conventional homes in established neighborhoods appraise more predictably, based on real numbers from an actual year of ownership. Here's the honest verdict. Cost per square foot. Barndominium wins clearly, $112 versus $175 to $200. Utility cost. Barndominium wins clearly, $146 versus $238 a month. Structural durability. Barndominium wins, zero settling or cracking issues. Maintenance load. Barndominium wins, zero exterior repairs in year one. Social and lifestyle adjustment. Tie at best, this is a land and distance issue, not a structure issue. Resale predictability. Conventional home wins, more established comparables. Repair response time. Conventional home wins, faster contractor availability. The financial categories overwhelmingly favor the Barndominium. The lifestyle categories are a genuine toss-up depending on the specific person. Choose this build if you want lower long-term utility and maintenance costs. You're willing to budget for at least one unplanned rural repair. You can adjust your social habits to deliberate scheduling instead of spontaneity. And you're not planning to sell within the next few years. Choose conventional construction in an established neighborhood if resale predictability matters more to you than monthly savings, if rural repair wait times would genuinely stress you, or if your social life depends on spontaneous, low-friction visits with people nearby. The data from this first year is clear. On cost, durability, and maintenance, the Barndominium outperformed conventional construction in every measurable category. On lifestyle adjustment and resale predictability, conventional construction still has a real edge. Both are legitimate paths to a good home. The real question isn't which one is objectively better. We've answered the financial side of that. The real question is which trade-offs you're actually willing to live with for the next 10, 20, 30 years. And now you have a full year of honest numbers to help you decide. If this breakdown helped you, hit subscribe and drop a comment telling me which of these 6 pros or 6 cons would matter most to you. Are you optimizing for the savings or for the convenience? Let me know below.